Hello everybody and welcome to another mystery box function challenge. In this purple box there is some mystery math and your challenge is to figure out what that math is. You can pause the video, go to the link in the description, and then put in as many numbers as you like in the top and see how they come out the bottom. Use that information to figure out what's inside the mystery box. Then come on back and listen to the rest of the video and see if you get what I get. All right, here we go. We're going to start with 0. So 0 gives us 1. Let's try 1. And 1 gives us a 3. Okay, so might be a line with a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of 1. Let's try 3. Oh, whoops. So that went way down. What could this be? It could be a downward opening parabola. It could be a downward opening absolute value. Let's, I put in a 3. I meant to put in a 2. Let's try a 2. Aha! Now this is looking like a downward opening absolute value, and it looks like we may have found the vertex there at 1. That seems to be the highest it gets. If I do a -1, and this is symmetrical, I should get -1 should equal the same thing as the 3 did, which would be a -1. So in -1, do we get out a -1? Ah, we do. Okay, so I think we have enough information to figure out what this function is. First of all, these lines are straight, they meet in a sharp vertex, so this looks like absolute value. So we've got absolute value in here somehow, although I'm going to leave some space here and just put the symbols because I don't know what else is going on yet. It opens downward, so we've got a negative sign out here, but we might also have some number multiplying. This looks kind of narrow. Narrower than just the absolute value of -x. So I think maybe it's multiplied by something. But before we figure out the multiplier, let's also figure what else is going on. Our vertex is not at the origin. It's 3 above the origin, and that would be a +3 at the end. It's also 1 to the right in the positive direction, and that would be a -1 inside. So when we move these functions left and right, it's the opposite sign of the direction they've moved in. So this would give us the negative of the absolute value of x minus 1 plus 3, but I'm still thinking that's not going to do it. So for example, if we put in a 0 here, it would be the absolute value of -1, that'd be a 1, and then the negative sign on that, -1 plus 3 would be 2, and that is not what we're getting. So I think I'm just going to use some trial and error here. I'm going to put a 2 in because it looks narrower, so I know the number is going to be bigger, and the next bigger number than 1 that's a whole number is 2. So let's just see if we get lucky here. So let's put in a 0 again. So now 0 negative -1 would give us -1. Take the absolute value of that, we get 1, and then we multiply that by -2, and then we add 3. So -2 plus 3 would be 1. And 0, 1. We did get that. Let's try putting in, let's try putting in a -1. So -1 minus 1 would be -2, and then the absolute value of that is a +2. +2 times -2 is -4, and then plus 3, that would be -1, and -1 gives us -1. Maybe we should try to predict one just to be sure. This is looking pretty good, but let's say we do the next one out. Let's put in a 4. So -2 times the absolute value of 4 minus 1 plus 3. So 4 minus 1 is 3, +3. And then times -2 is -6 plus 3 would equal a -3. So if I put in a 4, I should get out a -3. Let's see if that's the case. And there's -3. All right, I'm convinced that we've got this now. Let's take a look. Yeah, so the -2 times the absolute value of x minus 1 plus 3. A lot of things going on here. There was that translation up and the translation over to the right, and then the multiplier to make it narrower. Pretty complicated. Let's graph that. Yeah, there's the downward facing absolute value. Well, how did that go for you? I think that was a toughie. Let me know. Thanks, everybody.